The emotional toll it takes it to be able to handle a wife and a child is crippling to most men. Let alone like just the endless amount of okay, do you want me to say sorry for something? Like, do you need to hear someone say sorry today? Like, is that what's going on with you? Fine. Can we do this so I don't have to deal with the bullshit? Like that's being a husband, that's being a father, dealing with that. Am I right or am I right? All right, gang, it's finally time for another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. We got a great show for you today. We're going over a disputed topic with AI. He gives us some great answers. We have a lot of fun. We share some great stories, and we have a lot of laughs. Please stick around and enjoy the show. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We love you. Can't do it without you. Enjoy the show. Goodbye. And I don't know if you've ever dated a woman that's done this, where they'll focus on a thought, right? And that thought will just turn their world upside down. And it'll become like the biggest deal that ever was. When I'm like, this literally means nothing. I have been told I am blue collar hot.
Dude, you're absolutely blue collar. With that dark hair and those big shoulders? Come on.
You know what? We'll watch the channel, and I think it's damaging. We've watched Nature is Metal. You ever seen that channel?
Oh, yeah. I sure have.
Little Nature is Metal before bed.
Oh, boy.
As a dude, you get so overwhelmed with attraction to women. I've never experienced it the other way, where a girl was so attracted to me that she fell over a sentence, right? And if she did, I didn't notice because I was probably so attracted to her. But I feel like attraction is so much more for men than it is for women. Would you agree? Chris Rock said it best. He's like, moms have the toughest job, ain't gonna front. But nothing will put fear in your heart like saying, I'm gonna tell you, Daddy. Hello and welcome to the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the one and only Burn Podcasty. On this show, we'll be asking AI the hard-hitting questions and seeing if AI truly has all the answers. There is no question too crazy, there's no inquiry too outrageous, and no query too queer. AI may have all the answers, but we're here to prove that you can't have great answers without great questions. If you'd like to send us some questions to Ask AI, please comment on this episode or message us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. And please remember to check out all our shows, airing on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Tonight's question is, hey AI, would you rather be a man or a woman? Enjoy the show. Is it the mamas or the papas? That's on the chin of that intro. Daddy. Smack it. All right, Daddy just smacked that intro. Benoit Pahoud Kisse. How we doing, Dr. Love?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Just coming off a fun recording and really excited to dip into this hot topic tonight on Ask AI.
You gonna dip your toe in a little?
I dip more than a toe.
Ooh, Daddy, talk to me about it,
I might dip
Daddy.
more than a toe.
Daddy's gonna dip a little toe. Gonna dip a little toe. I'll tell you this, Bern. There is pluses and there's minuses to the world of women and men and women. I will say, dude, perfect example, men and women. Here we go. You ready for this?
Sure.
So, Friday night, right? Dude, my brother, like the other day, he went to the Penn State game this weekend, right? In Happy Valley. I forget who they played, but they won.
Washington.
It was Washington. Played Washington. Big game, right? In Happy Valley, played Washington, whiteout game, total big thing, right? Him and a couple of 4th Street gang got a house, Airbnb, did the whole weekend, the whole thing. He'd invited me. He's like, dude, it could be your last big thing before the baby, yada yada yada, all this stuff. He's always doing like going out and partying, like not partying, but going to the bar or going to a party or a guy's night or a golf trip or whatever. He does that stuff a lot. I'll tell you, I do not, knock on wood, do not do that stuff, right? And it's not because I don't get invited, because I do, but honestly, dude, not most of the time, knock on wood, I continue. I turn it down. It's just not my thing, right? And even like, nights out, I don't drink really, and I don't, do other stuff, I'm too tired, right? Too tired to do that shit. So, but my wife the other night, she's pregnant, but she has like a work pal that once a month they go out to dinner on a Friday night, right? Just get a quick dinner, you know what I mean? Chat, talk. It's just like a nice little thing, right? So Friday night, right? So I pick my daughter up from school. I take her to the park, just me and her. We're running around the park for hours. We end up playing a pickup game of soccer. There was a couple other people at the park doing the thing, right? And everything's going good. We come back. This whole time, my wife is out to dinner with her pal, right? And then we come back. I make my daughter dinner. I give her a bath, put her to bed, all this stuff. Then my wife comes back. The next day, after I get done doing the dishes and I start the laundry, my wife comes up to me and says, she's like, she's all upset and in a tiff. She's like, I feel like I'm all alone here and I do everything. And I was just like, literally, that's impossible. And I'll tell you why. I was like, and I'm not like, I don't want to, I hate like when people use stuff as ammunition. But I'm like, look, I'm not using this as ammunition, but I'm just literally telling you a fact here. The fact is that had you been by yourself, right, literally you couldn't have done any of the stuff you've done the last 2 days. Am I right or am I right? And that got her even more mad because she's like, I was like, I'm just saying. Like,
All
what do
all of
we,
your sound dropped out there.
what?
Just when you were doing just when you were doing the high pitch voice, all of it dropped out.
Okay, everything else was in though.
Everything else was in there. Yep.
So, dude, come back in, 3, 2, and she got all mad and was like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," all that stuff, dude. And I'm just like, I'm being trying to be logical here. I know you get your
Oh,
feelings
no,
and all
no,
this
no,
stuff,
no.
but dude, it's just I feel like, and I don't know if you've ever dated a woman that's done this, where they'll focus on a thought, right, and that thought will just turn their world upside down and it'll become like the biggest deal that ever was when I'm like, this literally means nothing. I don't know why you're so upset. Right? Have you been there?
Yeah, listen, you're trying to logic something out with a woman who's like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
It's not first
Let's
first
say eight
mistake.
and a quarter.
Yeah, yeah, eight in the hook. You know what I mean? Yeah, we've all been in that situation before, and yeah, you don't ever want to be there where you're like counting chores and being like, well, I did this, this, and this, and you did this, this, and
uh
this, and like it's not that never works, right? Like that
yeah.
never works. And so yeah, in your situation, all you can do is just kind of, I mean, if I were you, I would just put my head down a little bit and be like, I'll be better. You got it. You betcha. No
Dude,
problems here. I'll be better.
I know physically it's tough for her. So I've been trying to do more stuff as far as like the dishes and the laundry and like I feel like everyone has like their task. Like I feel like the trash, that's the guy's job, right? Like that's a guy
Usually.
job.
Yeah.
Usually a guy job. Any type of like maintenance, lawn care, guy job, right? And then, but I'll tell you this, so my mom had a rule growing up is that if you want to pick out your own clothes, then you have to do your own laundry, right? And I was like, okay, done. So I learned how to do my laundry when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I've been doing my own laundry ever. Also, and you know this. I had a house with three boys. We were fighting over clothes constantly. Socks.
Sure.
Oh, the socks, the underwear, the pant, like everything. You're fighting over everything, right? And shoes, my mom, the genius that she was, she would buy us all the same shoes, the same size. And I'm like, me and Tom, like, one of us is going to lose one of these fucking things. Either way, right? So, but like, I'll do the laundry, whatever. That's like, I don't like anyone else doing my laundry. I wouldn't want her to do it because I like it a specific way and I want to make sure I have all my stuff, right? And that's just trauma coming out because I need to have it because I need to know it's there. Either way. Also, I wear like the same 10 things, so I got to make sure they're clean, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
that.
Yeah, 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 totally. So, but like there's like things, but like the dishes used to be hers. I guess that can't be. That's got to be a shared thing now, Because there's been times she's like, I do all this. I was like, when's the last time you took out the trash or did the laundry? Right? Like, shut the fuck up. We split it. I don't rub it in your face because you're doing other shit and I'm doing other shit. So shut the fuck up. But can't really say that to a 8 and a quarter pregnant month,
I
because
mean, you can.
shit'll go weird. Shit'll get weird,
Yeah,
daddy.
yeah, you
It'll get
can. It's
weird
just
quick.
just a real bad idea.
Totes bad. Okay. Some other differences. I think, especially coming up, bro, like, and I was a victim of this a lot, is that, you just, like, as a dude, you get so overwhelmed with attraction to women, right? Like, I had such a problem. I remember before, like, I liked girl, like, I always, like, liked them before, like, they became, like, my sole purpose in life, right? Like I used to be able to talk to him, and I remember there was an exact day. There was this girl. I was in ninth grade, right? And there was this girl. She was like Spanish looking. She had already started to develop. She had
Mhm.
like the liner around the. She had the lipstick thing and the eyeliner, and like she had a part of her hair dyed, and she had a scrape. She had some Tims on. Bro, she was looking fucking blue collar right, daddy. And I just remember like I had transferred schools and she came up to me and she's like, "Oh, do you know my cousin? Blah blah blah." And like, bro, I before I would just be able to rattle off whatever. I got so nervous because I was like, "God damn, this girl's hot." Right? So nervous that I just fell over the sentence that I was gonna say to her, and I was like, "This never happened to me before. What?" So yeah, I'll tell you, that's the thing. Attraction. And I don't think I mean, I've I've never experienced it the other way, where a girl was so attracted to me that she fell over a sentence, right? And if she did, I didn't notice because I was probably so attracted to her. But I feel like attraction is so much more for men than it is for women. Would you agree?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole different dynamic, right? Because like when you're coming up, you have to like pursue, right? It's
Yeah.
like the dude's job to pursue, or at
Yeah.
least that's how it was when I was in middle school, high school. You know
Same.
what I mean?
Same.
College. So like,
Totally. Oh yeah.
so yeah. I mean, you got smitten, bro. We all get smitten, and I'm sure you've smitten some kittens out there as well. I think women are just way better at like not um
Not giving away the bag.
yeah, exactly. They play a little closer to the chest.
I mean, I have been told I am blue collar hot.
Dude, you're absolutely blue collar with that dark hair and those big shoulders. Come on.
That's right, Daddy. That's fucking right. I got my hair cut today, and my barber told me, he's like, dude, I would not want to be punched by you. And I was like, yeah, you're right there,
That's
Daddy.
that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Yeah.
I
Thanks,
was
man.
like, pal,
I
I
feel
think that we
great.
just fell in love. But no, you're right. Then there's different, I don't know. There's different girls too. Like I remember buddies that would, and it's different for every guy. Like some guys are attracted to this, some guys are attracted to this. Like some guys will smitten over this, some guys will smitten over that. So the attraction thing is difficult, right? But I feel like I don't know. I don't know. Age too, especially coming up, right? Like when you're coming up, it's tough to talk to girls your own age sometimes. Sometimes it's definitely tough to talk to girls that are older than you, you know? And then going that like now being older, like I always thought too, like I never wanted to date girls that were younger than me just because I felt it was creepy, like especially coming up, right? I was like, if I was like an 11th grader, I wouldn't want to date a ninth grader just because I was like, this is fucking creepy. You know what I mean? Or like, dude, those seniors that dated freshmen, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck is this here? You know? Like you got a guy who's fucking 18, turning 19, dating a 14-year-old. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, she was 10 4 years ago, tough guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I always thought that was creepy. Your thoughts?
I yeah, I think the in high school the lowest I ever went was a grade below. I think I
Yeah.
dated two girls who were a grade below me.
Yeah.
And I was a senior and they were juniors. So like I felt
Yeah.
like that was okay, but it would have been weird to date a sophomore. And there were a lot of spicy sophomores when I was a senior, but
Oh, I bet.
it just didn't it felt like it was too much of a gap. Like you guys don't even have your driver's
Yeah.
licenses yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just yeah. So
Yeah.
I always kept it within a year.
Yeah. Smart. Plus two, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. That's smart. But that's like the attraction power. I think too, like I know that in sometimes men are more logic, but sometimes men aren't, right? Men don't have the logic sometimes. I'll tell you if it's a situation where there's anger, right? Or like, I feel like, well, yes and no, women are more logical and stuff like that, but I don't know. I feel like when it comes to paperwork, women are smarter. Would you agree?
I think it's pretty proven that women are like book smarter than men, pretty
Yeah.
much across the board. Um, yeah, I don't think there's any real question there.
One thing
Women
I do, go ahead.
women tend to be more like emotionally intelligent than men do
Mm,
too, which is like
yeah.
just the sense that they have a better understanding of what they're feeling. Where like for young dudes, it's like lust, anger, rejection, happy. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole
The whole
spectrum.
kitten and caboodie.
And
I'm
so when that's your whole like worldview in your formative years, it's tough to you got to do some real work as an adult to like learn how to not learn how to expand a little bit. But I think women definitely have the advantage there.
yeah, I would agree. I think also, I mean, you know what the one thing I think men have an advantage, but it's tough because like caddy, right? Like when you see like caddy, like women being caddy, right? Like that just it turns my stomach, dude. It turns my stomach, right? And like just how awful it is. Like my daughter, she's in a class, right? There's 9 kids in the class, and 7 of them are girls and 2 of them are boys. And the teachers told us, she's like, it's uncontrollable the amount of catty nonsense that we have to deal with, even at this age. They're 4, right? 4, 5, and 6, And I'm like, this is just, yeah. But it's girls I think inherently can be catty and they're covet and they're jealous and all this stuff like where a guy's just like I don't know what do we have cheese what's going on so I don't know. I think that the cattiness too of being a woman, that's something that to me I really don't like.
Well, it's you fight with the weapons you have, right? Like we've
Right.
talked before on this show of like dudes. I mean, you got a problem, you go outside, you punch each other for a while, and then
Yeah.
like you're probably friends by the end of the week.
Sure.
Um, because the emotional spectrum is not you're like now I'm angry, like now I'm not. All
Yeah.
right, we're good now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, listen, from everything I've heard, like from what I understand, you're a dude getting picked on by a bully, you're gonna have to worry about like throwing hands every once in a while. Whereas like
Mhm.
if you're a female getting picked on by a female bully, like you're gonna have to worry about this person trying to actually destroy you, like
Oh my
completely
God.
destroy you mentally. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm not mad about being born a dude, like I'm not mad about it.
No.
I'm not mad about it. I don't know if I had would have had the capacity to engage in all that emotional warfare, as a kid. I'd rather
Yeah.
just punch somebody.
Same. Same, same, same. Yeah. Plus two, like I know, I mean, I don't know how old's your daughter?
She'll be 3 in January.
Okay. So, but she like I think too, like women hold stuff in for longer, where it's like, I remember my daughter the other day, she was like upset about something, and we were like, well, what is going on? And it is something that had happened at school, like maybe 2 weeks prior, but she'd been holding it in for so long. And I'm like, oh, it kind of breaks your heart a little bit because you're like, this poor thing's been holding this thing in for so long, and then like it resurfaced and she got upset and all this. So I don't know, there's that aspect too where like they have a good memory, but that means that they hold in stuff so much. So
Sure.
I don't know, that's tough as well. I would say that, but other stuff too, right? So let's keep moving. Another thing, let's talk about it physically, right? Like that's the big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you rather be a man or a woman? So physically, yes, men are stronger and faster and smell better and like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But
Smell better?
okay, men are stronger, faster. They don't smell. No, yeah, you're right. Not a chance. Men stink, and everybody knows it. But no, I would say, man, this is the other thing that's tough. It's like. I mean, I don't know. Physically, but like, so is this weird, right? Like, I like a woman physically. I love like the look of a woman physically, right? But I wouldn't want any of those features, you know?
Yeah.
Does that
I
make
think that's
sense?
yeah, I think that's totally normal, man. You've been a dude your whole life and
Yeah,
you're pretty happy with it. And you got those big shoulders that wouldn't, maybe translate as well if you were a chick. Um, yeah, no, listen, I think we were talking about this last week on the Dick Joke podcast of like you see all these crazy like elegant, like perfectly sculpted sculptures of women, and like it just makes sense. And then the only way to do that for a man is just to give it like a little tiny dick because otherwise the whole thing just looks absurd. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think like the perfect female body, whatever that is always going to be more aesthetically pleasing to the eye than whatever the perfect male body is. Um,
True.
but with that comes a lot of pressure too. You know what I mean? Like women are much more likely to have like body dysmorphia issues and like eating
Uh,
disorders and like
yeah.
what I mean? Like be held to
That's
a standard where like I'm 6'2", kind of doughy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in great shape, but like I don't look terrible.
yeah.
Like I got a little dad bod rocking, and like it's all right. People
Well,
seem
dad
fine
bods
with
are
it,
hot. They're blue collar hot.
right?
But that's the other
Um,
thing too, dude. Like my daughter now, like we're doing like, and I've told my wife this. I was like, she's playing a sport every season. She can do other activities too, but she's staying active and all this stuff. Like the last thing I want is for her to have body image issues and then lack self confidence and then seek approval from some shithead fucking boy who's dumber than fuck, who's just trying to get on her. Like that would fucking murder me. I will fucking kill a kid. Like she hugged a boy the other day. I was like, boy, get your hands off her right now. I was like, I'm not fucking dealing with it. And my wife was like, you shut that down quick. I was like, fucking right, I did. She doesn't hug. She can hug me. She wants a hug from a boy fucking right here. All right? But she's not fucking. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Right? But kids will be kids. But I don't know. But like, I don't want her to crave that male, like any type of like male affection. I want her to be like in good shape, not have the body image issues, like self confidence, stuff like that. Jiu Jitsu, knock on wood, has been helpful with that thus far. But even like, what I did been doing lately, and I hope it sticks, is that like if she wants something, like I'll make her do burpees or push ups. So like the other day, like in the morning, she comes down before school. She's like, Daddy, can I watch TV before school? I was like, yeah, but you know what the deal is. She's like, okay. So she does 5 burpees, 5 push-ups, and either she does 10 jumping jacks or I have like a pull-up thing. She has to hang from the pull-up bar for 10 seconds, you know?
Awesome.
And now like I come down, like before I'd have to be like yell at her to do it. Now like today she wanted something. She's like, "Daddy, I'm doing the burpees. Can I get this?" And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, do them." You know?
Awesome.
Yeah. So I was like, "All right, good. As long as she's like banging these burpees out now." And I was like, "All right, good. This is what we want." So that's part of it. But like I think I was talking to my wife about this too. She's like, she needs to have like a love, not a love of, but like know that like working out is part of your life routine. Because not every family establishes that.
No, I mean, if you're
But
talking
either
about
way,
somebody who's going to be well adjusted and like, it's in physically the best condition she can be in, like, yeah, make it a priority now and don't be weird about it. You know what I mean? Don't make her
no,
feel like, I used to play hoops with this kid, and like in third grade, if he didn't score 10 points, his dad would put like, you know, sandbags on his ankles and make him run around the farm. It's like, guess who ended up hating basketball? Like that kid, because you
yeah,
sucked all the fun out of it.
yeah,
So yeah, I
yeah.
think you just need to find the happy medium. But I think a couple burpees to watch a little TV before school is a great. It's a great philosophy.
Yeah. Like the other day she wanted candy. I was like, all right, you can have one piece, but 5 push-ups. And she got down and did them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like dumb stuff like that. Like she likes watching like Instagram reels on my phone. You know what? We'll watch the channel and I think it's damaging. We've watched Nature is Metal. You ever seen that channel?
Oh yeah, I sure have.
Little Nature is Metal before bed.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, but she calls them shorties. She's like, Daddy, I want to watch shorties. I was like, all right. So, but she was like, today, she's like, come here, Dad. She's like, look, I'm doing my burpees so we can watch shorties. I was like, no one made this deal. You can't just say you're doing them and you got to make a deal here. So, but either way,
She'll
she's
get
smart.
there.
Yeah. So either way, let's talk to AI. So I said, hello, AI. If you had a chance to be a human, would you rather choose to be a human man or a human woman? AI says thus. They said, that's an interesting question. As an I don't have a physical body or the concept of self that humans do. So the idea of being either male or female is outside my realm of experience. They then say, if I were to hypothetically imagine experiencing the world as a human, I think I'd be equally fascinated by both genders. Each offer a unique perspective and a set of experiences that would be incredibly valuable to learn from. Ultimately, the beauty of humanity lies in its diversity, and both men and women contribute equally to making our world the rich and complex place that it is. Perhaps, if I had more information about the specific human experiences I'd be choosing between, I could offer a more definitive answer, but for now, I appreciate the opportunity to consider such a thought provoking question. All right, I then asked, I said, hello, AI. If you could have sex, would you rather be a male or female? They said that's a very interesting question, but as an AI, I don't have a physical body or the biological or emotional needs that humans associate with sex. So the concept of being a male or female in that context is not something I can meaningfully relate to. Then says, however, I can analyze and understand the human experience of sex. From that perspective, both male or female roles offer unique aspects. The male role often involves physical strength and assertion, while the female role often involves receptivity and nurturing. Both roles are essential for the act of sex and offer different kinds of experiences. Damn! And they then said, if I were to hypothetically imagine experiencing sex as a human, I'd be curious about both the male and female perspectives. Each offer a different way of connecting with another person on a deeply intimate level, and both are integral to the continuation of the human species. Ultimately, the beauty of human sexuality lies in the diversity of fuck off AI. Placate, placate, placate. Give me a fucking answer here, right?
Yeah, I was afraid that one was going to be very similar to the first one.
Just
Um,
fucking placating. That's all it is.
I don't know. What's a more specific question? Like, because so for example, right? Like, we both have kids, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Being dad's awesome.
The
Being dad is
best.
fun. Being dad
Yeah,
rules, right? It's the coolest thing I've
yeah,
ever done. coolest thing you've ever
Yeah.
done,
Yeah.
but you're not mom.
You're
You
not.
know, you're not mom. It's tough to at some point you got to realize like your relationship, like they're gonna look to. I think I read something somewhere which is like kids. The best way to connect with your kids, like mothers nurture and dads play, and like
Yeah.
that's what they're kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Um, so depending on the situation, but like it always sucks when your kid gets hurt and your kid's just like, I need mom. And you're like, well, I'm right here, dude. Or
Yeah.
kiddo, like I can she's not here right now and I'm right here and I can help
But
you
when
and I'm
it's yeah,
but
but when it's
but you're not
fun time,
when
you
it's fun
know,
time, it's dad time.
is that yeah, they're always like, "Dad, can we do this?" Dad, like dads make the fun. Moms are just fucking, they ruin the fun a lot of the times. But no, I'm with you 100% on that. I think plus two, I mean, see that's tough, because like Chris Rock said it best. He's like, moms have the toughest job, ain't gonna front, right? But nothing will put fear in your heart like saying, I'm gonna tell you daddy. You know what I mean? Like, dad does the discipline too. So, as much as we have fun, like, in my mind at least, and this is how I was raised, like, mom can get mad and mom can lay out discipline, but the heavy lifting, right? Like, you fuck up, mommy's gonna tell daddy, and then you're really in trouble, right? And that's your job as a dad. You have to lay down that law, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. I hate this. I even said to her this, like, I hate that I have to do this. Like, I hate that I have to yell at you, or I hate I have to point this stuff out, or I hate that, like, this is constantly happening. I fucking hate it, right? But I also hate that I have to clean up after you all the time because you're doing stupid shit, right? You
Right.
know? So it's, you got the blessing and the curse. But I'm with you where it's like, but when you have to deal out the heavy lifting punishment, that fucking hurts the most, dude. I fucking like when I have to hit her, or like throwing away a toy. You've done to throw away a toy?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I made the mistake of letting her pick one, right? And she picked a pretty good one. But then the next time she's like, "Okay, you can throw away this one." Like it didn't care. I was like, "Oh no, now
No, no,
Daddy's
no.
picking." I was like, "I know which one I'm throwing away," but they were all special and they all meant so much, even though she hadn't touched them in fucking months, right? But dude, the heartbreak of throwing away a toy or hitting or like bringing her in from outside when everyone's playing because she wasn't listening. Like, fucking, it's gut wrenching to see how upset they get because they'll have like a hyperventilating breakdown. You know what I mean? And that's part of kids growing up, but it's still as a dad, you have to weather the storm. You have to be the hardo. You have to come out as the bully or the big right hand of the law. Like that's your job, dude. That's your fucking job because consequences matter, you know? And also, if you say something, you have to back it up. Otherwise, they're just gonna fucking walk all over you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they learn that real quick. Back down once, and they're on top of you.
Big time. Big time. You let them get away with it one time and you'll never fucking you do it once and that's fine. Like you lay down the law one time, you should be good. You might have to do it twice. But if you give in, you'll get like they'll never let you fucking you know what I mean? They'll always try and take you. And that's it, dude. That's prison, man. That's prison rules.
Yeah. I mean, you are essentially a warden. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's your job to
That's
keep them
fucking
fed,
true.
keep them bathed, work them out, keep them safe.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So I did ask AI this. I said, "Hello AI, if you had children, would you rather be a mom or a dad?" They said that's a fun thought experiment as an AI. Oh, fucking Christ. Um, they said I can access and process information about human parenting roles, and I can tell you that both mothers and fathers play incredibly important roles and unique roles in a child's life. From what I've learned, mothers often take on the role of primary caregiver in the early years, providing nurturing, comfort, and emotional support. They often excel at multitasking, empathy, and creating a loving environment. That's true. And then they said fathers, on the other hand, often play a crucial role in providing a sense of security, discipline, encouraging exploration, and risk taking. They can offer a different perspective and play style that complements the mother's role. That's true too. I forgot about security. That's your job as well. Like, my wife was like, talking about like working out and stuff. I was like, that's part of like the job here, right? Like I have to work out because if someone tries to attack you guys, I have to be in good enough shape to defend you. You know that, right? And she's like, "Oh, I never thought of that." I was like, "Well, fucking think of it that way, because that's how I think of it. You think I want to do any fucking working out? Because I don't. I don't. But you gotta, because you have to be able to defend your family from fucking Stunads, right?"
You got to be responsible, but the risk taking is something because that's how you overcome your fears.
Yes, agreed. They need to be able to look fear in the eye and overcome it. I will say this. So when I did ask I said, AI, would you, if you had children, rather be a mom or a dad? They said, if I were to hypothetically imagine myself in a human parenting role, I think it would be more drawn to the nurturing and emotionally supportive aspects of motherhood. Of a real answer. They say they
Yeah,
also recognize that it's incredibly valuable that fathers bring a child's life, yada yada, but ultimately the most rewarding part of being a parent, regardless of gender, is witnessing a child grow and develop into a happy and fulfilled individual. But they would rather be the mom. Wow.
I think it's.
Wow.
I mean, I think it's a harder gig. I think it's a more fulfilling
They
gig.
say it's fucking harder. You know why you say it's harder? Because everyone tells you it's harder. But you know what? Not only, like, if you're a dad, not only do you have to deal with the kid, which you do a lot, and maybe the mom will remember birthdays better and dates better and be better at paperwork and whatever, right? But the heavy lifting, the heavy stuff will be the dad. But then also, remember, the dad has to take care of the mom too. The mom thinks, oh, I just take care of myself. No, that's not the case at all. Not at all. The emotional toll it takes it to be able to handle a wife and a child is crippling to most men. Let alone like just the fucking endless amount of okay, do you want me to say sorry for something? Like do you need to hear someone say sorry today? Like is that what's going on with you? Fine. Can we do this so I don't have to deal with the bullshit? Like that's fucking being a husband, that's being a father, dealing with that shit. Am I right or am I right?
Uh, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, Benoit Pahoud, we are coming towards the top of time. Is there anything you want to say to old Alan and the rest of the crew before we rowdy 5,000?
Listen, moms and dads are both important. Men and
Yeah,
women are different in a lot of ways. You know
sure.
what something is that's beneficial to both men and women, though?
Oh, what's that, Burn?
That's Blue Chew.
Oof.
More boners, more better, more Blue Chew.
Yeah, yeah. If you're out there, if you love your significant other, right, and you're a man, you owe it to them to give them the best rock hard rager you can, right? And if you're not doing that, then that's your fault, okay? You owe it to them to rock their world with a rock hard rager that'll never quit and never give up just like you. All right, and the only way to do that is with some Blue Chew, best male enhancement in the game. You want to rock her day all night and all night and all day? Then get a Blue Chew and do it up. Or you want to be ready to go anytime? Guess what? Also get a Blue Chew and chew it up. You'll be ready to go. Drop of a hat for that spontaneous little skaboosh, or that little pitch findel, or the little scoochkaladilla. Anytime, any day. Blue Chew got it done. They can get the gimmick that's the pre, or they can give you the gimmick that's drop the hat whenever you're ready to go. They got it all, and it's good to go. That's Blue Chew, Daddy. Blue Chew. It's better boners for a better life. Blue Chew. All right. Well, speaking of rock hard ragers and better boners, there's been another episode of the Work Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming to you by the one and only Burn Podcast. In case you're wondering, you find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. You know us on Instagram at Work Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thank you so much for listening. We cherish you. We love you. We adore you. Thanks. See you. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. We can't do this without you. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And please check out all our shows. We do this all for you. We love you. See you later. Goodbye.